Okay. It says that the storeroom can hold at most 12 boxes of cones, so the number of boxes of plain cones plus the number of boxes of sugar cones has to be less than or equal to 12 to fit in the storeroom. And since a box of plain cones costs 30 bucks and a box of sugar cones costs 80 bucks, we've got the inequality. Oh, and they can spend a maximum of 800 on everything. We have 30 times the number of boxes of plain cones plus 80 times the number of boxes of sugar cones has to be less than or equal to 800. So there's your system of inequalities for part A. Now, in order to graph this system, we're going to think about P as x and S as y, so we can think about it graphically. So we translate these inequalities into x and y, so you got x plus y is less than or equal to 12, and 30x plus 80y is less than or equal to 800. To get the boundary lines, we think of these as equal signs, and I got these each into y equals mx plus b form. So I just subtracted x on both sides to get y is equal to negative x plus 12. And over here, I subtracted 30x from both sides to get 80y equals negative 30x plus 800. Then I divided everything by 80 to get a final, and I reduced this fraction to get y is equal to negative 3 over 8x plus 10. Now I'm going to graph both of these lines. This has a y-intercept of 12 and a slope of negative 1, so that's this 45-degree angle line. Also obviously has an x-intercept of 12. And over here we're starting at 10, right there. Starting at 10, and we're going down 3 right 8. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I just repeated the 3 over 8, and there's that line there. Do we shade above or below? We test 0, 0 in each of the inequalities. So 0 plus 0, we test 0, 0 in the first inequality. It works, so we shade below. So we're shading below this line. We test 0, 0 in the second inequality. It also works, so we're going to shade below that line. So the common region for all. Oh, and we need to also add in the following two inequalities, because you can't have a negative number of boxes. So we're going to do P has to be greater than or equal to 0, and S has to be greater than or equal to 0. And those are just going to restrict us to the first quadrant here. So we need to be below this line, and positive P and S values. So that's this region here. Okay, it's like a four-sided quadrilateral. And it wants to know what are the corners, or the vertices of this quadrilateral here. Well, this one's 0, 0. This one is 0, 10. This one is 12, 0. We just need to define this one. I found that one by solving the system of equations for these two lines. So this line here is P plus S equals 12. This line here is 30P plus 80S equals 800. And I solved that system. I won't go through all the details here. But you multiply this one by negative 30, you get something to cancel, you find the S value, you substitute that back in to get the P value. It ended up to be 3.2, 8.8.